I know it's been a while since one of my major challenge videos, but I finally managed to complete a main channel worthy challenge known as Apple Greed. Apple Greed, when I explain it, it may not sound too difficult. It means completing the strict mode of Baldi's Basics with only one life mode, which is strict, with no apples. Now, no apples may sound confusing to you because you don't play Baldi's Basics, but basically, no apples translates to you are not allowed to use any extra lives. So essentially, when Baldi runs into you, he'll take the apple in your inventory and eat it for 20 seconds. But in this, because we're not allowed to pick up any apples, we only have essentially one life. Now this may sound still easy because, you still have your items and you still surely should be able to win, right? I'm dead! This is the stupidest game I've ever played in my life! Oh my god, me. So I don't think it's very obvious, but this challenge is way more difficult than it meets the eye. This is because Baldi's Basics Plus is a game built to be impossible. Well, not in the traditional sense. It's supposed to be a game that wants you to fail, and the way you counter this is by using items. And if in some way that the items or anything else you use doesn't go right, your event is to use the apple, which is the only item that deliberately stops you from being conquered by Baldi. Now, what happens when we take this item away, and we make it so we only have one life? Well, that's this challenge, and honestly, it's a really hard challenge. So, we decided to take this challenge by piece, and we'll get to know exactly what's going on, and then eventually we'll get to know everything that's happening, so you get to watch the full run. Now, please enjoy my very, very toddler explanation of this game, as there's insurmount to the amount of thinking and brain power that goes into this. So the first thing to answer is, what is even going on? Well, essentially, you're in a randomized schoolhouse, and the only key things you need to know is that you have a map that you can toggle with a chosen button, because you can alter it in the keybinds. Me personally, I set it to M on the keyboard, because it's pretty far away, and I can just use my hand and get pretty much 100% accuracy with it. The only downside is that in a recent patch, they made it so you can't run and use the map at the same time. There's a way around this, but we're not here to talk about that. Essentially, what you're going to be doing is collecting all the notebooks around Baldi. All you need to know about Baldi, even though it gets complicated, is that Baldi gets faster for every notebook you collect. And if you get a problem wrong in one of the math games, he gets even faster than if you were to just collect the notebook normally. So essentially, get your math correct and make a swift exit when you get a notebook. There are loads of items to help you, which some of the best ones I'll go over right now. There's the bee soda, which can shoot any character, including Baldi, down a hallway until it reaches the end of it, which can make easy escapes very viable. There's the super stretchy glove, which increases your reach for a very long period of time, allowing you to reach things that wouldn't require you to run at them to reach. There's also the dangerous teleporter, which acts as the apple of this challenge, as when Baldi pushes us into danger, we'd have to use the dangerous teleporter to get away. And finally, the best item of the game is the grappling hook. The grappling hook will shoot you down a corridor as fast as you can, essentially acting as another way to get away from a big escape, kind of like the bee soda. But instead of working against your enemies, you're working to get away from your enemies. Now, there are multiple ways to obtain these items that I've just discussed. Obviously, these are some of the rarest items, as they're some of the best. The two ways you can obtain these items is by just finding them in rooms. The second way is by finding them in Johnny's shop. In rooms, they're really not very rare, and in Johnny's shop, you may not even find them in Johnny's inventory. The only way you may be able to find them is by clicking the restock button, which allows you to get a new roster of items. And even if you do get them, it costs 250 YTPs to restock the roster. And you may not even have enough to buy the item that you want after. But we'll get to YTPs and how to obtain them in a moment. So, unlike items, there's actually a separate inventory of stuff that you can use to help against Baldi. These are stickers. Now, unlike items that you pick up and use, stickers have to be found in sticker packs, which are completely random unless you follow these steps. For one, there's the bonus sticker packs, which will choose between one of three stickers. And then there's the other sticker packs, which just give you whatever your heart desires, but it's completely random. Now, I'm not actually going to explain each individual one. Instead, I'm going to put up every single one on the screen and you can read what they do right now. But we're only focused on 5 of these for the time being, which I'll get to explain in a moment. So the first thing that's obvious is both of the items and stickers are obtained by getting YTPs. Now, YTPs are extremely important, and the way to get them is you can get them in multiple ways. You can get them by either finding them in classrooms, you can get them at the end of bonuses at the end of each floor, or you can get them by completing a minigame by Dr. Reflex or Playtime. All of these ways are extremely easy to farm, and they often lead to you getting thousands of YTPs if you play well enough at them. This allows you to get lots and lots of items and lots of stickers for even more cool bonuses. So now that we've discussed stickers and items and how to obtain them in the best ways, we can finally get to talking about the strategy of the game. So essentially the strategy is going to go something like this. We're going to need to beat floor 1 as quickly as possible while also obtaining at least 200 YTPs or more, as on strict mode or explorer mode, when you beat a floor, it'll always give you a 3 times multiplier. On arcade mode or normal mode, it's dependent on how many lives you have at the end of a floor. Once you clear the floor, you're going to have 600 YTPs or more, and you're going to need to buy 2 bonus sticker packs. Doing this will give you 2 unique stickers of 3, or a pair of 2. We're going to be looking for a time bonus or a map bonus, as the distance bonus isn't very good, as the only real reliable way to get rid of Baldi is by pushing him back. Apart from that, we're just going to be looking to either complete a floor as quickly as possible, or discover as much of the floor as possible with the map bonus. After this, we're going to clear floor 2 and specifically go looking out for the key. The key will unlock a special school faculty room containing 3 items. Of these 3 items, every time you do it on floor 2, it will have a bus pass. A bus pass is an item that will allow you to go to a field trip before floor 3. I'm not sure why this isn't on floor 4 before floor 5, but still. You're going to do the field trip and choose whichever game is best for you. Once you clear the field trip, you're then going to have to choose 3 items. You're going to be looking out for a grappling hook, bee soda, invisibility elixir, or YTPs or dangerous teleporter. If you don't find any good items, you can just take the YTPs and use it to spend better items. By this point, you have around 3,000 or 2,500 YTPs, and you're going to use that to spend on a lot of good items, whether that's refreshing the stocks over and over again to get good items for floor 3, or what you're going to do, in my strategy, is to buy 2 sticker packs, which are the bonus ones, and fill out your entire menu for floor 3 full of bonus stickers to get cool stuff. If you get at least 1 time bonus, you're most likely going to want to speedrun the entire floor, but in the unlikely event that you purchase 4 sticker packs and don't get a single time bonus, it's recommended you just go through the entire floor as slowly as possible and losing Baldi. Once you clear floor 3, you've got a bit of a break on your hands with floor 4. On floor 4, from this point forward, YTPs don't really play much of a role, and all you're going to be doing is just trying to get the best items and best stickers to use on floors 4 and 5. As for floors 4 and 5, they have unique floor plans, such as the laboratory, factory, or maintenance. The laboratory is the easiest, as all it does is require you warping around different sections of the map, which allows you to gain pretty good distance on Baldi. Then there's the factory, which is slightly worse, but it's still pretty good. It just involves you going around conveyor belts, and it's normally the floor that you speedrun the most. And the maintenance floor is by far the hardest one, especially if you get it on floor 5. As the way maintenance works is it involves you going around following a colored wire to a school faculty room, then flicking on the power. This is able to be done on floor 3 too, and floor 2 even as well. but it was never too bad, as there was never a limit to how much power you could have turned on. But there definitely was for floor 5. So once you flick on the power, you're going to have to traverse all the way to the other classrooms, and now that the power's turned on, you can do the game that is in the room. Once you've done that, you can then go back to the room and turn off the power, or find a button to turn off all of the power. This is just to make sure that you're in each classroom and getting all the power. And if you do this, and hopefully avoid maintenance for all 5 floors, you have reliably beaten the game. So at this point, anyone else who's played Baldi's Basics before will still realize that this probably doesn't sound very difficult, and it wasn't meant to. See, I've been lying this whole video and saying that this was actually supposed to be a challenge as a stepping stone to beating the whole game with no items, inspired by TheDapperWaffle. By the way, this guy's a really underrated channel, you should check him out. But I was originally going to do this challenge as a kind of a breathing way, but I could not anticipate this taking over 40 hours to complete, and I'll basically walk you through all of the steps I went through to get to this point. Around 2 hours in, I managed to get my first run to floor 3, primarily because I wasn't playing very well that day. And once I got to floor 3, I managed to clear most of the floor until I got to this part here. As you can see, I was running down this hallway to get away from Baldi, and then I got stabbed by the bully here. I didn't want to lose an item, so I hopped into a locker for safety, and I died anyway. The reason this happened is because I was waiting for a stun to happen from Baldi, which normally happens when he's right outside the locker, but I mistimed when it would happen and ended up dying. This attempt was actually going okay. As I made it to the next day, I was hoping to get some really good runs, and I actually managed to clear floor 3 for the first time, and I was pretty excited, but I knew that I would just have to clear floor 4, and then I'd finally be ready to lock in for floor 5, and surely nothing would go wrong, and nothing really did. I managed to make it to floor 5, and surprisingly it wasn't maintenance, so I managed to clear the floor with ease. And then we got to the chase scene. You see, at 8 notebooks, Baldi was right on my tail and I had to get away, so I grappled away for safety. But for some stupid reason, I don't know why, my grapple decided to lock on to the shelves of the wall in Johnny's shop. Which, if you didn't know, you can't reach those walls. So, if you run into this problem, there's literally no way out. How are you supposed to get out? So my grapple is constantly pulling me towards this wall. I can't reach that wall because it's blocked by a shelf that I can't overcome. And now I'm just stuck here. So what option is there? Well, the option is I die, which really annoys me for the day. You'll see later why this death of all things annoyed me, because not only was this my first floor 5, this was also one of my only floor 5s on camera that didn't get maintenance. As you'll see in the future, that almost every single fail I had was on floor 5 maintenance, which really killed me, and obviously I didn't know this at the time, so every death afterwards would have killed me even more, knowing that that chance right there could have been my best one. But surely the worst was past, right? I could get another run, right? All it would take is just another couple hours. Right. Well, a couple more. Okay, so it took me over 12 hours to get back to floor 5, only for another maintenance death, which is the one I've just shown. And yes, this was one of many first maintenance deaths. Most of us happened to VC off camera, but unfortunately, I don't have many to show with you. It took me another 12 hours across 2 days, and yes, this means that I've played Baldi's Basics 6 hours straight on 2 separate day occasions. Summer's just beginning, I'm ready to start grinding, and I keep dying on floor 3. I'm serious, my consistency just hit a massive wall. It was honestly really annoying. But too long have I dragged on this video, and too long have I been in these chains of this challenge. If I was going to beat this challenge, it was going to be here and now, and I can present to you Apple Greed. A completion that took me almost 36 hours across 4 days. Here we go. Please. Nothing kill me, please. Oh my god, please. Yes! Oh my god, yes. Oh, I beat Apple Greed, yes. Oh my god, I beat it. Oh. So there you have it. Apple Greed. A challenge that took me a while, but honestly wasn't too difficult. And comparing it to the other stuff I've done on this channel, it really wasn't too bad. Now, obviously, I could whine on and on about how this doesn't feel worthy of a main channel video, but I felt like I needed to get something out, and trust me, we are not at all done with Baldi. In fact, we may even visit some past games for this. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I could, especially because this video didn't take my entire heart to pour out, but instead it took a lot of thinking about making the video and me just writing it off so many times. So, just thank you for watching and staying to the end. And if you want to see the full run of Apple Greed, I'll be posting it shortly after this one, maybe even the next day, as it is midnight as of editing this. So, thanks for watching, and bye.